Hi, my name is Arne Pedersen from Awareness and Health, and it's exciting today because this is the end of a 6-week theme of healing unresolved trauma, taking a look at trauma in many different ways and different perspectives and ways that we can learn to let it go and move through it. And so what I'm doing today is I'm recapping all of the 6 videos, and you can check them all out, all of the different episodes. And if you want to see more details, or go on my website and look at the written articles that I did on them as well. And so today I'm really excited about this, going through all of this, because this has been a big part of my life, is learning to move through traumas from my past. And so I really want to share all of this with you. This is incredible information. And also, before I start, there's a workshop. I've mentioned this many times, but it's a really great workshop that I'm putting on February 16th, Sunday. And there are still some seats left, and you can check out the information in the link below. Just go click on the link, it'll take you to my website, and it's about self-healing chronic pain and body issues. So if you're struggling with body pain, body issues, and you're having trouble moving through them, wondering why won't your body heal, why won't it heal as fast as you'd like to, and you want to learn what is inhibiting healing, stopping healing from happening as well as it could happen, and what you can do to put healing in your favor, then you really want to check this workshop out. So it's down below in the description. Click that link and check it out on my website. So the first video that I did in this section, it's episode number 21 if you want to check it out, and it's about cellular memory, releasing the past. So if we have some unresolved trauma, something happened to us in the past that we weren't able to fully move through and process. Maybe we just didn't have the capacity at the time with the support. We didn't have the support to move through it. We were feeling things and we just weren't able to be supported through it. Or maybe it was an accumulation of things that happened in our upbringing where we didn't get our needs met. And it was sort of an accumulation of trauma after trauma after trauma. But nevertheless, there's this energy from the past that is stuck in our psyche, and it's stuck in our emotional mind, our mental mind, and it's stuck in our physical body. And in a sense, we've dissociated, we've disconnected from that feeling because nature made it so to survive. We needed to disconnect from that feeling because it was too much. We didn't have the support to move through it, so that makes sense. We've disconnected, we've dissociated. And so the energy is still there, being held in our body, in our cellular memory, the way we hold tension in our body, the way we react to things. And the energy, in order to let that go, really, it's releasing the tension and the resistance. And so I'm going to talk about this at the end, a simple awareness practice, which I talk about in all of my videos, mostly a little bit, and about getting connected back into our body, into a state of ease, and turning off the fight or flight system that creates the tension and the resistance. And so that'll help to release the cellular memory, all of the memory of the trauma out of our body. That'll help to let that flow get going. And so the next one, it's episode number 22, and it's self-energy healing. Now, it's really interesting that the higher the emotions, love and joy and excitement, they're a lot higher frequency of energy. And you can tell when you're feeling really, really good, it's like, oh, I'm on top of the world. It's easier to walk. It's easier to stand up straight. You have way more energy. But when you're feeling really sad or angry, or you're feeling really upset, or you're feeling even depressed, if you're feeling that, it's a really heavy energy. It can even be hard to get out of bed. We feel heavy, or it's harder to stand up straight. We're really looking down. Our body language is quite different. It's like we're wearing a wet blanket, just being pulled down by it. So that's a lower frequency energy. We can feel that it's a slower, denser, moving frequency. So light is a very high vibration. If we use our imagination to bring light into our body, into our mind, and move it through our body, and imagine our body filled with sunlight, imagine seeing ourselves going, wow, I feel amazing, bringing that light in. We're bringing high frequency, high vibration energy into our body. It helps, in a sense, supercharge our body with more energy to reboot our system back into homeostasis. Because when we're in a lack of energy, when energy's not moving, energy's stuck, that our system goes into a survival mode really easily because we don't have enough energy and we don't have a surplus. So bringing that energy in will help your body to heal and help to thrive instead of just surviving. Now the next one is about that. It's about thriving versus surviving, and it's episode number 23, and you can check that one out. And so when we're in survival mode, we're really just coping. We're just getting by. We're just dealing with life, and we're tense, or there's a subtle sense of resistance there, or maybe we feel anxiety or worries or fear because we're in this survival mode. And nature makes it so that we worry, and we have worrisome thoughts, that we look at life and we're worrying about what could happen, what could be the danger, where's the danger today. So our mind constantly is looking for negative things that could threaten our well-being. And so that's why we have so much more worry and fears and anxiety and stress when we're in survival mode for too long, when that system's getting overtaxed. And so when we're in thriving mode, then we're in homeostasis. The energy is not going to survival. The energy is going to creativity. The energy is going to excitement, enthusiasm, and growth and regeneration in our body. We have a surplus of energy building up. So bringing that light in that I talked about will help to move you, turn off the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, and turn on the parasympathetic, which is homeostasis, which is the growth and regeneration and recuperation state where we have a surplus of energy. So there's a really big difference there. We're able to then express creativity and really express who we are because we have enough surplus of energy beyond just surviving. So the next one, which is the fourth one in this series, the door is wide open, and it's episode number 24. When we're triggered, when something triggers us into fear or worry, or triggers some old program of anxiety or something like that, a stress program, that old program of the unresolved trauma, of that emotional energy that's still stuck within us, really it's our body trying to keep us from feeling that energy. So anything in life that reminds us of that old feeling, our subconscious mind tries to keep us away from it. So it triggers us into anxiety and fear. So we'll avoid and steer away from the situations in life that will cause us to feel the way that we're not comfortable feeling. And so right then, when that trigger happens, when we feel it, the door's wide open to that whole program in the subconscious mind that runs that survival system. And so if we want to make that change there, we can recalibrate our system, that we can, if we're really in a state of, if there really is a threat to our survival, make yourself safe. But if you're questioning that, you're thinking, I feel this a lot, I feel this stress, I feel these triggers, but if we take the time to look around and start assessing, is my well-being actually threatened here? Is my safety actually threatened? If you objectively look around and see, and you can look around and go, well, I'm feeling like an 8 or a 9 or maybe a 10 of red alert or stress or anxiety. And I feel this big threat. It just feels like I need to get out of here. I can't breathe. I feel like I'm going to die inside. But if you look around and objectively you assess and you go, well, but really there's no actual immediate danger. There's no threat. Actually, right now, nothing's going on. There's a threat to my survival. So if it's a 1 or a 0, there's a huge, huge gap between what you're perceiving and what the reality is. So then you can talk to yourself and mentor yourself and say, everything is okay, everything is fine. And then down at the bottom, I'll talk more about the awareness practice, but go into your breathing, go into your body, and that tells your subconscious mind that everything, when you're accepting and allowing what you're feeling and you're breathing calm, deep, slow breaths, it tells your body that everything's safe, and it'll help to recalibrate that back down to an appropriate level relative to what's really going on. So next one is stretching out of your comfort zone, and that's episode number 25. Now, the subconscious mind protects us by keeping us small, keeping us away from things that stretch us into feelings and emotions that we can't handle, that just trigger the old unresolved trauma. And if we don't feel confident with these kind of emotions, we've always pushed them away. These kinds of feelings, or putting ourselves out there, being in front of people. If we don't have enough confidence or well-being, or if we don't feel worthy, we don't feel good enough, then we're going to be living in a way where we're arranging our life around our fears. Our fears, in a sense, will be controlling us, and that's that small comfort zone. But they say that everything we want in life is on the other side of our fears. So if we really want to grow and change and let go of those old programs, we want to thrive and feel really good and enjoy life and feel a happy, fulfilling life, then we need to step out of our comfort zone. We need to, in a sense, really just whatever it is we want to do, whatever feelings and emotions, the steps it takes to do what we want to do, it'll bring up feelings and emotions. We just need to learn to accept and allow them and experience them and get to know them. That's the only thing keeping us away, is just the feelings. So stepping out of our comfort zone, as soon as we practice that more and more on a regular basis, that awareness practice, and we're getting closer to that at the end, that the more we allow and accept who we are, what we're feeling, our breathing, follow our breathing, feeling the inner body sensations, we're saying yes to life, and we're experiencing our emotions, and that's building emotional competence. And so number 6, healing requires a supportive environment, and that's episode number 26. That's last week, and so that was the last one in the series. And so if you're a plant and we just put you in a really unsupportive environment, you don't get enough water, you don't get enough sunshine, not the right temperature for what you really need, you're just going to cope at best and maybe just survive, and you might even die and dry up or whatever might happen. But that plant needs a supportive environment relative to what that plant needs to thrive, and you put it in that supportive environment and it'll get better. Bruce Lipton, who wrote the book, an amazing book, The Biology of Belief, he wrote this great book, and back in the 1960s, it was based on his experiments as a cellular biologist, that with petri dishes he was cloning stem cells, and he put stem cells in a petri dish and he was putting solutions in them and putting them in different environments, the petri dish. Then he learned that when I put the petri dish in an unsupportive environment, the stem cells in there, they would get sick, they would get disease, they would morph into unhealthy versions, they would die, and they would really not do well and barely just even survive. But then he put those same cells in a healthy environment, back into a very supportive environment for their health. They would actually get well. They would go in a state of ease, and they would start to thrive, and they would start to heal and get better and thrive. And so he realized that it's the environment that controls how healthy that the organism is. And with humans, he realized it's not just the environment, it's the perception, because it could really be a supportive environment, but if we're actually perceiving it just through old unconscious wounds, unresolved traumas from the past, we can still be seeing through those unresolved energies, because if they're unresolved, they're still in our energy field, and we could be seeing through the lenses of this unresolved energy. And so we're seeing life from the worry in our mind, as I mentioned before. The more we're in a fight or flight situation, that program's turned on, the more worry is in our mind to help us look around and look for the danger to try and avoid it. So we start to see life as unsupportive and scary and a threat to our well-being. But it could just be a perception. When we actually recalibrate, we actually take the time to assess. Now, this is the awareness practice. If we take the time to assess and look around and get in that place of we're just breathing, we're feeling our body, we're practicing this on a daily basis. Every day, whatever we feel at that exact same time of day will be different. We'll feel a different range of emotions every day if we practice sitting for 10 or 15 minutes. Just focus on our breathing, or maybe 5 minutes at a time, maybe a few times in the day, whenever you have time. Breathe in, feeling the inner felt sense, feeling your shoulders, feeling your head, feeling your arms, feeling your whole body, your torso, your hips, your legs, your knees, your feet. Just feeling the inner body sensations, whatever you feel. And rather than going, I don't like the way I feel, I should feel this way, I want to feel that way, I don't want to feel that way. When we actually go into our body and allow what we feel, observe, accept, and allow, we're saying yes to what we feel. We're giving ourselves attention, affection, appreciation, acknowledgement, acceptance. We're giving ourselves all of the needs we need in order to thrive. We're giving ourselves that supportive environment to thrive. And we're telling our subconscious mind that life is safe. And when we go into our breathing, slow, relaxed breathing, we're telling our subconscious mind it's safe. Our body only breathes in a relaxed state when it is safe. And the subconscious mind, the autonomic nervous system, runs our breathing, but we can consciously affect change by just going into our breathing consciously. And then we can recalibrate that whole system by slowing our breathing down, slow, relaxed breaths, feeling what we feel. Then resistance. There's nothing that's being resisted. If we say, I don't like life, I don't want this to happen, that is major resistance that clenches our body, that turns on fight or flight. We're saying that there's a threat, and we start worrying and judging things. That's how our subconscious mind keeps us away from things that it thinks is a threat. But when we say yes to what we feel, our internal environment, we're accepting it, we're allowing it, we're being with it, we're experiencing it. Unresolved trauma, that's how it became unresolved and got stuck there, is because we weren't able to process it and experience it. Your attention inwards, you're giving yourself all the environment you need to be with it. Your body's designed to feel. You can sit with it, you can breathe into the feelings, and when you practice on a daily basis, you're out in life, something happens, you step out of your comfort zone and try this, all of a sudden, you've got an unconscious automatic program in your subconscious mind there where you're actually practiced at feeling what you're breathing, feeling what you're feeling your emotions. So whatever comes up in life, you now know you can just breathe into it, you can just feel it, you can allow it. You've got a program that you've created in a calm state. So then in a challenged state, you actually have a program to walk yourself through it. And that's how you can make changes, and that's how you can let go of unresolved traumas. You keep going into this stuff and creating a solid foundation of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-care with your internal world. And from that point on, your external world will start to mirror that. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change how we look at ourselves, everything in life begins to change. When we start loving ourselves more, accepting ourselves more, feeling more comfortable and safe, and just feeling who we are, we then become more safe and comfortable and excited to share who we are in the outside world. And the world becomes an incredibly safe and supportive place. And our body has a surplus of energy, and it's amazing how much our body can heal. So I help people a lot. These videos are really good. I do hypnotherapy to help get in the belief systems of people, to help them to navigate through letting go of these stuck old programs. Hypnotherapy is a really great tool to help bypass the subconscious mind, the critical mind that judges things, and to get into the subconscious, where the record player is a storehouse of all the old beliefs that are probably outdated, some of them, to help somebody move through their challenges. So I have information on my website. You can check that out. Check out the website for the workshop, the Self-Healing Chronic Pain. And also next week, I'm really happy I'm going to start doing a series on self-healing chronic pain for the next 6 weeks, just since that's really on my mind a lot with the workshop. So starting next week, it's a video on self-healing chronic pain, and for the next 6 videos. So thank you for watching. My name is Arne Pedersen, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you for watching.